Hello guys, so this is going to Screen Rant. These are 10 movies that will definitely become called classics. Well, none of them did. Well, they did miss one movie. Is it really thundering outside? It's fucking, November, it's thundering outside. But this is what they got wrong. So this is the list of called classic films. This is the movie that they hate so much, A Read About Angel, and if you look at this list, okay, so number 10 is Climax, a movie that I have never heard of before. But see if it's on the list. Okay, A Read About Angel, I always told you it's on the list, so he was Climax. Well, it's not called classic because no one wants to see it. Okay, when no one wants to see a movie, it's not called classic. Okay, I guess some movies become underground hits. Midsummer, oh yes. I don't even think that, is it Hereditary? Yeah, I think it's Hereditary. I don't even know if Hereditary is considered called classic, so we go to here. Hereditary considered called classic because that's his other movie he made. His other movie, Hereditary, is not even on here. That's his other movie. Is not even on here. Midsummer is not on here. Not and I just don't understand why some of these people say, "Oh, it's because Midsummer is an independent release." Of course, it's not gonna say. Of course, people are not gonna buy it Blu-ray, but people tend to ignore the fact that Midsummer got like mixed audience reviews. Okay, if people really gonna give this movie, the critics and the media propped up this movie, and it just completely fell flat because of course it did. This movie came out in 2018. This movie's not even a 2019 movie. It came out in 2018. So, Under the Silver Lake. Oh, let's see if that movie's on the list. Under the Silver Lake. Yeah, it's not on here. Not on here. Ready or Not. I think that movie did much bit better than they expected. Kid Would Be King. Oh, that's a movie that could become a cult classic. I haven't seen The Kid Would Be King, but I think that movie could become a cult classic. Not right now, but probably in the future, because it's a lot, because it's a movie about, it's just, I think it's gonna be one of those movies where it is eventually gonna become like a cult classic movie, okay? Especially being one of Fox's last movies, okay? Before the mouse took them over, okay? I think, A Read About Angel and Kill B. King, which is already on this list, A Read About Angel, Kill B. King will become a cult classic simply because it's one of Fox's last movies, okay, before the mouse took him over, okay? It has that going for it. So, Beach Bum, that's definitely not a cult classic. No one want. People don't even like that movie. Same with, Velvet Bane's St. Buzzard's movie that appeals to, so bad it's good. Pie, it might become a cult classic. It might be, it appeals toward that a specific audience, people who view, who ironically like the movie because it's just, you know, which it isn't on here now, but it'll probably be one of those ironic movies that people actually like. But Beach Bum, it's not. I don't think it's here. Okay, I don't think it's become a cult classic. And not every movie from 2019 is gonna become cult classics. Okay, we also have Wild Rose, which I don't think it's gonna be so. Dude, it's I don't think anyone has heard of this movie. It's not become a cult classic. And then of course we have the critics' favorite movie, Booksmart. Okay, they're probably gonna nominate this for best picks and say, "Oh my God, it's such an inventive movie." Okay, where nobody went to go see the movie. No one wanted to go see the movie because its trailers looked unfunny. Okay, and the only people who find it funny are woke people and the critics. Okay, those are the only people who find Booksmart funny. Okay, you know, no one finds this movie funny. Okay, unless you either have a really bad taste in humor. Okay, or you just like woke movies and you're obsessed with watching woke movies over and over again. Okay, and of course they say Booksmart is an impressive directorial debut of Olivia Wade. And of course, according to them, it's such a masterpiece to these critics, okay? But where the fuck is Booksmart? Booksmart's no cult classic, okay? It's not here. If it was such a cult classic, already, A Read About Angel is already an instant cult classic. And we have these people saying, "Oh my God, Booksmart's cult classic. It's gonna become a cult classic." But Alita Battle Angel is the only movie from this year, I think, that is on this list, okay? Of course, some movies that are going to become cult classics in the future are movies they don't expect. Which, I think that a few other movies will become cult classics as well, okay? First movie is Godzilla versus the Godzilla King of the Monsters, okay? The movie kind of underperformed, and, it has a 6.1 on IMDb, 41% on Rotten Tomatoes, and 91% on Google, whereas, of course, 9% of people who do not appreciate Godzilla, you know. But again, Godzilla, people have been wanting, American. We haven't really got a Godzilla movie that is a lot like, the original Godzilla movie. Okay, the original, original Japanese Godzilla movies. And if you look here at Godzilla, the original ones on here, I don't see the 2014 one. Maybe I skipped it. But you can see here, more people, like for example, Godzilla King of the Monsters. If you go to like a Godzilla community, most of the people who are in the Godzilla community think this is probably one of the best Godzilla movies, probably since like the 90s. Okay, so one of the best Godzilla movies ever made. And the only people who it's obvious that Warner Bros. And Legendary Pictures wanted to make this movie like the original Godzilla movies back in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, and not make it for the woke audiences, who will chomp down anything that's about a love story, okay, and Booksmart, okay. This is the same critics who gave Booksmart a 99% on 97% on Rotten Tomatoes. Okay, the same critics that gave Batwoman a 72% over Joker, and you know what? What's that another movie to us? Even though it still made a lot of money, okay? Even though it still made a lot of money, okay? But there are some movies that made a lot of money that still managed to, um, make the list of cult classics. For example, Blazing Saddles, okay? I won't be surprised the like of Blazing Saddles, which is on here somewhere. Blazing Saddles is somewhere on here. Basically like all of his movies, all of Mel Brooks' movies, become cult classics. And you can see here that it made $119 million at the American box office, which it was the highest grossing movie of that year, and it won Best Picture. So it was the highest grossing movie of the year, and it is a movie. The reason why it's called classic because it won't be made today. Okay, it won't be made today. Blazing Saddles definitely will have never been made today because the movie making fun of racism. It makes fun of racism. Okay, the movie makes fun of racism and says racism is wrong, but of course the SAW is being being okay. Oh, how dare you say a certain word in the movie? Okay, you know that's why Blazing Saddles highest grossing in the movie of the year. Beyond cult classic, okay, I think Joker will probably become a cult classic before Booksmart does. Okay, I think for example, Joker here will become a cult classic before this box office out there. It's at 1.03 billion, but you know people I don't think Joker's gonna be an exact cult classic because it made $1 billion. Okay, but 40 to 50 years down the line, it'll probably be remembered as a cult classic because he'll probably have movies going like $7 to $8 billion at that point, 2050 to 2060, and Joker will be remembered as a cult classic, but as a cult movie, probably. Um, and Detective Pikachu may be remembered as a cult classic. And let's go to 2020. Okay, I have one more movie that may become a cult classic, and that's the Sonic movie. Okay, the movie's not out yet, but I think this movie is gonna become a cult classic. Oh, it only has a 9.76 7.6 out of 10 on IMDb. It only has a 7.66 out of 10. How will you be able to review the movie? It's not even out until February. Okay, like I think the Sonic movie, if it doesn't do well at the box office, will probably be an instant cult classic. Because a lot of Sonic fans say, Sonic, why you hate the Sonic movie so much? Why it could become an underground movie. The budget is only $90 million, so it needs $180 million to make even. Break even, which I think Sonic movie can easily do since its competition Kingsman has been delayed. Okay, it's the only movie. If you look at 2020 movies, okay, 2020 movies is the only movie on its weekend that has made the movie. The only movie it has to compete with is a woke version, a woke Harley Quinn movie. I think no one's gonna watch at all. Okay, that not many people are gonna go watch in the theaters. So Sonic has no competition basically. Okay, the only movie that and the only movies that will compete with is a horror movie, which definitely will not compete with the same audience, and the Photograph, which is a for a different audience as well. And the only other movie it has to compete with is Birds of Prey, which but looking by the trailers, it's gonna be a woke flop. So only movie it has to compete with comes out the next week, The Call of the Wild, which is a Disney movie. It says Fox, but we all know who owns Fox. The mouse. And then its real competition comes in 3 weeks later. So Saga only made most of its money in its first 3 weeks, okay? So I think we're not really worried about Sonic's box office. Wait, what was Godzilla vs. Congo? I don't see Godzilla vs. King Kong. Did they cancel it? It's pushed back to November 2020. Oh, that means I have to wait even longer to see Godzilla vs. Kong. Ugh. No wonder we didn't see no trailer for the movie. By the way, there's no marketing out there. They'll plan to delay it to 2020. Part of make it epic, okay? We all know they want to make Godzilla vs. Kong epic as possible, okay? They obviously want to make Godzilla vs. Kong epic, but you know, that's basically about the cult classic movies. According to Screammat, those are becoming the cult classic movies. But then, if you look at the actual list of cult classic movies, none of those movies on the list are not instant cult classics. I think a movie like Joker will become a cult classic over time, and Godzilla King of the Monsters will become cult classics over time as well. Okay, Godzilla vs. King of the Monsters will be an obvious movie candidate for becoming a cult classic. And a Ruka by Yale, the only movie from 2019 is Alita. Yeah. And there aren't many movies from this decade that are on this list, so Alita Battle Angel is already an instant cult classic. And the media, I'm surprised, are not freaking out about this. Because the stories or narrative that Booksmart will be the most remembered movie of the year of 2019. And that's basically it. Goodbye.